What is up, Yugioh? This is Meh from pigandmeh, and as you can tell, I'm cold, which is why I'm wrapped in blanket. But that's irrelevant, because today I have a new segment I'm going to bring to you guys, and it's something I'm calling the Top 5. What's the Top 5? Well, basically, it's where I explain to you the top 5 cards of a specific reasoning in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, well, yeah, I'm just going to stick with Yu-Gi-Mons because that's what this channel basically is. And I figured that since there's always something interesting about trying to determine what's the best out of a certain series of cards, I decided today to do a little mini-series focusing on the best attributes. And, you know, what monsters I feel are the best. But I'm going to make note that unless reasons permit that something is so good that it absolutely has to be mentioned, I'm going to mostly be leaving out cards that are, at the time of recording, banned in tournament play. But again, if the situation persists, there might be cases where a banned card or two might make a list. But for the most part, this is all TCG legal. And for you guys today, being the inaugural Top 5, I'm going to cover one half of Yu-Gi-Oh's most destructive attribute of them all, light. Now, before I get into it, I'm going to show you guys 2 honorable mentions. And because I'm not looking too swag right now, I'm going to kind of put the camera down so I can show you my very fancy light and dark mat. How appropriate. But yeah, right now I'm going to talk about 2 honorable mention light monsters that I feel should be regarded as being some of the best. And the first one is an oldie but a goodie, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Why should this card be considered the best amongst all light monsters? Well, first off, it is the highest printed normal monster in the game. Period. The end. No questions asked. There is not a normal monster stronger than Blue Eyes White Dragon. Which, if that wasn't warrant enough to mention why he's so good, another thing is that he has significance in the television show as a whole, in that the main, rival to the good guy uses this as his main monster. There's a boatload of cards to help get this huge ass 3000 attack monster to the field. And also note, he's a dragon. So even in today's meta, he still holds some relevancy. And I've seen many a person just so half tempted to throw him in a deck just because. Whilst this game has become a series of monster effects and whatnot, to this day, even WK Dad can tell you, it is really hard to get over huge ass monster attacks. Because of that, I feel he's more than worthy to warrant as being one of the best. Not top 5 worthy, but a card nonetheless. And another card that just barely passed out because the 5 chosen were just that good, DD Warrior Lady. Why is this card good? Because format after format after format since she came out, people have been using her to deal with problem monsters. Hell, I even think more recently, the YCS Kansas City had her somewhere, in either main board, sideboard, something like that. There's nothing really bad about this card other than the fact that she banishes herself. But even that doesn't matter anymore. And also, on a side note, she's been in multiple places on the ban list to boot. And for a card to have that kind of longevity in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is saying something. But, let's get to the meat of the matter and cover the top 5 best light monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Starting out at lonesome number 5, Cyber Dragon. Basically, he's a free 21 pop. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only stipulation is that your opponent has to have a monster. Which in most cases means that not only back when oppression was legal could he force an oppression shot, but he also, in the day and age of Synchros and Exceeds, has benefited these new summoning mechanics in that he is a convenient level 5. There's really nothing bad about him, other than the fact that 9 times out of 10 he's going to be bottomless, torrential, anything like that. And also cards that kind of can look at an entire archetype, like Karakuri's, gadgets, or even ancient gears, or even Machinas for that matter, laugh at them, and then just proceed to cause shenanigans and cripple that entire deck. Makes a card more than worthy of being considered as being the best. And again, there's hardly anything about him that you can really consider bad. And on a side note, ever since he's come out, him, like DD Warrior Lady before him, has had many rotation on the ban list between limited, semi, and unlimited. And ever since he came out, people have been playing him. So, it's things like that that make this card, number 5, as the best light monster. The only thing immediately I can recall that's better than him, Thunder King Ryo. Currently, he's the cream of the crop amongst your light monster selections. He's been in many a mainboard, sideboard, and cripples plenty of deck. The ability to basically prevent your opponent from adding cards to their hand. That means that plenty of person will be really pissed off when he hits the board. And like Cyber Dragon, he's going to be baiting out many a bottomless, so you can later flood the field with your bigger shenanigans. And also he's one of the main reasons, if not the main, stun card, which is a viable strategy even today. And again, format after format, he only gets better and better. But these next 3 cards kind of help. In one way, they all help increase his usefulness, but at the same time, they just kind of have had a bigger impact than he has. Like, probably the meanest thing Konami could have ever printed. Honest. It was the first monster that I can immediately recall that that made people really consider their damage step beyond what it is at face value. Yeah, Gores made your opponent have to second guess their attacking, but this guy made it where your opponent had to reconsider attacking that Thunder King Ryo, DD Warrior Lady, or hell, even your Blue Eyes White Dragon. Basically, whenever a card takes an entire attribute and makes it something to be afraid of just because it's that type, that's kind of hard to deny. And again, this guy, like many a card before him, has had his rotations. Currently, he is at 1 for a good reason. But yeah, his impact is huge, and to this day I think people still are butthurt about it. But the only thing that made a bigger impact than him is my number 2 choice, Effect Veiler. This card flat out changed the way you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because before Effect Veiler, you could go willy-nilly, spam spam, good game. After Effect Veiler, not so much. Basically, not only, like Cyber Dragon, could this guy look at so many cards and just completely shut them down. Your Nateria Bamboo Shoots, random Sky Scourge shenanigans, or those combo breaking cards like Boggart Knight and whatnot, or even gadgets for that matter. This guy, since his arrival, been a force to be reckoned with and has made everyone reconsider their play strategies. And the only reason he's not number 1 is simply put because Konami printed this. My number 1 choice for the best light monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Blackluster Soldier. Is there really much to say? 3,000 body, can either attack twice or banish any of your opponent's threats. There's honestly nothing really bad about this card. Even its summoning conditions, banish the light and the dark. It's not very hard, especially when cards like these exist in the meta. What makes these cards so good is their splashability, and because they're played, you can instantly throw this guy in anything, just as long as you have a few darks. On a side note, you can honest him, which means he's basically an OTK in and of himself. He's that monster that Konami shouldn't have printed, and then, even worse, they shouldn't have let you play him again. And really, because there's honestly nothing bad about him, I truly can't come up with a reason as to why he shouldn't be number one. So because of that, the number one choice for the best light monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Blackluster Soldier. Now, if any of you guys have any different thoughts, ideas, cards you felt should have been mentioned, or any cards you'd like me to cover, or that you feel should be brought up in later editions of Top 5, Meh's Top 5, whatever the hell I'm going to call this, make sure to comment down below, tell me what you think, whether or not you agree or disagree with my choices, and cards for future episodes, or even other ideas. But yeah. Back. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. And yeah, this is Meh, the Pig and Meh, signing out.